Jai Chinendra everyone, a warm welcome to you all to today's lecture on deciphering of Shastra. Have you ever thought that why this lecture is needed? Why we need to decipher Shastras? Like what is written, it's written in the books. So why we need to learn how to understand that? It's as simple as like law is just not made by someone who has written constitution. It is implemented when someone understands it, and the major part of the law is about interpretation, that how it is interpreted. Same goes with the shastras, where all the essence of world is written, but it is very important to understand that what its contextual meaning is, so we understand it in our favor, not in a way that we just kill ourselves. It's a two-way sword. So today is a very important part of understanding that how to read our shastras, which will guide us the ultimate path to happiness, moksha. For this, we have our very own Vivek Bhaiyaji. He'll guide us how to read our shastras. Before handing over stage to Vivek ji, I would just like to introduce you all to our JEEV portal, Jain English Educational Values System. It is a portal or a place where we learn about Jain Shastras or Jainism concepts in a very simple and understandable manner, in a way where we can implement in a real life. So I'll tell you more about JEEV portal, how to access it in later part of lecture. Before this, I'm handing stage to Vivek ji. Over to you, Vivek ji.
Thank you, Parinati ji, and Jai Jinendra, everyone. Let's start with Mangalacharam. Brahmo Arihantaram, Brahmo Siddharam, Brahmo Ayadhyaram, Brahmo Vajrayaram, Brahmo Loe Savvasaputam. Eso Panchanamu Yaro Savapavapanasano, Mangladam cha Savresam, Padavanto hi Mangalam. Mangalam Bhagavan Viro, Mangalam Gautamo Gani, Mangalam Kundu Kundardyo, Jaini Dharmostu Mangalam. Sarva Mangala Mangalyam, Sarva Kalyanikarikam, Pradhanam Sarva Dharmanam, Jainam Jaitu Shashanam, Jainam Jaitu Shashanam. So yeah, let's start with this session. So today's session topic is, let's start with the sharing screen. Deciphering scriptures. So I start with, even I was struggling when I started reading Sastras, our Granths. So there are many confusion when I was reading this Sastra. And many times it happens, like sometimes they say Atma don't eat, and sometimes they say that you don't have to eat in the night, you have to follow these rules and regulations. So I was bit confused. One side they are saying Atma is Nitya, and one side they are saying Atma is Anitya. So I was a little bit confused about this philosophy. So I was thinking how to read and understand the Shastras. So today's lecture is all about a guide to proper interpretation. So it is all about interpretation, how we take it. So the scriptures which is written by Acharyas is very powerful, strong. Our mind is not accepting many things. So once we understand the perspective of the session and perspective of the Granth and the Acharyas, we'll come to know that whatever they have written is absolutely truth. And it is not their personal opinion, it is what it is. So we need to understand the philosophy, and we need to understand the doctrine about the Jain philosophy and Granth. So once we understand it, then we'll come to know why there is Atma is Nitya, and at the same time Atma is Anitya. So, oh, So the introduction, then this is the table of contents, what we are going to learn in this session. So introductions. So for those who are on a spiritual journey, like we all want, and when I say spiritual journey, does not mean religious journey. We generally tend to understand that religion and spiritual journey is same, but both are different. Whenever I will get the time, I will explain what's the difference between spiritual journey and religious journey. What's the difference between spiritual and being religious. So everybody wants liberation. Liberation simple mean is freedom. Freedom from what? Everybody is now and then struggling with something like I'm helpless, no one is understanding me, um, I'm very much pressurized in office, in workplace, or at home, or with the family. So everybody wants liberation or a freedom from bondage, the freedom from karmas, freedom from everything. Like even I want to take this lecture, or I'm taking this lecture, so once this lecture will be finished, I will feel free. So this is human nature, to be a free, and every human beings has a right to be free. But how to get the freedom, that's the key, and that's we need to understand how from reading granth, understanding the doctrine of Jainism. Once we understand the philosophy, once we understand the real truth about the life, real truth about the universe, or by tattva abhyas, we can achieve liberation too. And it's not about some destination. Everybody, when I ask in many lectures, or when I take sessions, so when I ask how many of you want to be happy, so everybody raise like this their hands like this. And when I say how many of you are unhappy, so they're like, "Yeah, everybody is unhappy." So when I ask next question, that like same question, like how many of you want to be happy? So everybody is like, yeah, I want to be happy. So happiness is not just something that need to be achieved. It is already inside. We need to accept that I'm already happy. That's the place we need to stand. And once we stand on that place, that it is inside things, not outside thing, that we need to achieve something and we need to reach somewhere. So it is not like that. It is happiness is the inside. We just need to stand over there, that I am happy, and you will get the happiness. It's as simple as that. So for those who are on a spiritual journey towards liberation, the first step often involves the study of scriptures. So if someone wants to get happiness, let's say I want to play cricket. So what's the process? So I need some coach, I need some guru, or a techniques to play, how to play cricket, the skills, rules and regulation of cricket. Then only I can play cricket. Otherwise, I will say, oh, I want to play a cricket or a other game like football. So I need to understand the rules and regulation of that particular game. And yes, a skill at the same time, I need require a skill and a proper teacher or a coach who can guide me how to um, hold bat, and what are the different skills to play cricket, right? So same thing here also, like if I want to get the liberation, I just need to check it out, the people, the jivas who have achieved liberation, how they have achieved liberation. So I need to first understand, find out who all are they. Once I will come to know that these are the people, or Panch Parameshti, or this Panch Parameshti have achieved, or some of them are in the process. So what they have done in their life, or how they have reached this stage. That once I will understand this, then yeah, I will understand the whatever they have said, how they have achieved, whatever they have written. I will come to know that yeah, they have written these things, means it is very powerful, and at the same time, it is very um, important to get the liberation to read the scriptures. So this text originated from the wisdom of omniscient, the Sarvagya Paramatma, whatever they have said. Like it's called Divyavani or a Divyadhvani, a Vani of Sarvagya Paramatma, an omniscient person. So there is a deep meaning inside the omniscient lectures, and that that real truth has been said by or from Dividhwani. So we need to understand what they have said, and it is in the form of not right now in the Dividhwani, but it is right now available in the form of scriptures that is we call Jinvani Mata. So, challenges in comprehending scriptures. What are the challenges we are facing? Let's say you must have seen the when we are buying a car or a two-wheeler, whatever we buy, we have some handy book together. So there are many things written inside, but we don't read, and we just start riding a bike or drive a car without reading those that booklet, which is we always get with the when we buy new car or a new bike. So we don't read it, but because the things which is written in that booklet is difficult to understand, and no one wants to read difficult things. And if I know how to write, but if once you read it, you will come to know the what are the technical parts of the bike or a car, and the things which we need to be careful while driving or while riding a bike. So once we why we are not reading that booklet, because that is very that is not easy to understand. So generally we no one is reading that booklet. But yeah, in the same thing, scriptures is also not easy to understand true meanings. It's not so easy. Yeah, but what I personally feel is yeah, it is easy. Once you practice and you read again and again, it will become easy. And deep meaning required careful introspection. So generally what we want is just it's not a chat gpt that you say something and you have some questions and you will get the answer very easily, because it is written in Prakrit language, Sanskrit language, or maybe translated in Hindi or Gujarati. But the way they have written, the intellectual understanding of acharyas is far more better than us. So when it was written, maybe they were very intelligent or very sharp in writing, also in thinking also. So sometimes they have written some gathas or Sanskrit slokas, so it is not so easy to understand. But by nowadays the translation has been made in English, Hindi, or Gujarati, so it's bit easy to understand. But to get the meaning is bit difficult. Yeah, because translation, yeah, we can do the translation, we can understand, but getting the meaning is quite difficult, because the more time they have invested, they are like they have gone through the process. तीन कषाय चौकड़ी का अभाव उन्होंने किया है, so they are more towards vitrata. We are more into kashay, the passion into which we are in is the whole days our mind is occupied in many stuff. So generally we hardly take out time for 5 minutes or 1 hour, or some people are may spend some 2 hours or like that. So maybe we are not that much investing our time in understanding the meaning of gathas and the philosophies which has been said by acharyas. So yeah, there is a very we need awareness, introspections, and the thinking process required, because nowadays, or maybe if I share my experience while I was reading the granths and many scriptures, so many times I have to think more deeper. Then only I come to know, though, the real meaning is this. Even till now, when I was reading Samesar and I'm reading Mokshma Prakashak or any Granth which I'm reading, it needs a lot of thinking process to understand what the Acharya Bhagwan is saying. Let's say the Gatha number 146 from Samesar. It says, Sone ki bedi and Lohe ki bedi both are same. It's gold chain and iron chain, both are same. So it's need a deeper thinking how it can be same, because I like a comfort life. I like cars. I like to travel the world, and they are saying no. The punya and pap both are same. So how I can believe that? Yeah, in when they say I have a trust on them, so I have to believe, not have to believe, but just because of just out of shraddha, I believe that. But to understand deeply and to implement in my life, it's a bit difficult, because it needs very careful introspection. And the thing is, various viewpoints are there, because Jinvani has written in many ways. So sometimes they explain in historical form, sometimes they say in karma theories form, sometimes they say in adhyatmic ways. So we need to understand what are the ways, or what are the from which perspective they are saying. We need to understand very clearly. And there is a appear contradictory and confuse new readers. So maybe for new readers, they, it seems like it is very confusing, very difficult to understand. Sometimes they say, you have to do this, and sometimes they say you can't do anything. So there's a contradictory. So one has to very much clear about this, that there are different perspective. A session will go on, and in the upcoming sessions we will explain what are the different perspective. So role of spiritual guidance is very important. The guidance which we are getting from our Gyani gurus or Acharya Bhagwan, the guidance of an enlightened spiritual teachers or a knowledge scholar is not just recommended, but often a necessity. It is very necessary. It is not that you have to do, it is must. We need to understand, without this guidance, there is a risk of reinforcing false belief rather than dispelling them. So we need some guru or a proper understanding. For that, we need to read again and again. We need to do swadhyay very deeply. And this comprehending the scriptures often requires careful introspections, then the thoughts and the logical reasoning. We need to have deep thinking, then logical reasoning it requires, and the right direction, the right perspective it required. Then only we will come to the right point and to understand what Acharya Bhagwan has said. And the present various viewpoints that might appear as contradictory. Sometimes we may feel that, oh, this is very confusing, like in many chapters, like especially in Dravya and Yog Granth, many times we get confused. So misconceptions can arise because individuals may struggle or to grasp the underlying perspectives, implied meanings, and hidden purpose within the text due to their lack of understanding. So the Acharya Bhagwan has written two lines Gatha. So it contains a very deep meaning, a different perspective. So one has to be very precise. Precisely, we need to understand that, and any individual who is not more into this and who is not doing more swadhyay or have a clear understanding, then it may lead to confusion, or the person may leave the reading granth or whatever he may be listening to the pravachan. Maybe he will leave the to listen to the pravachan. Okay, so it is very necessary, need a spiritual guidance. So common concept to for better comprehension. So I will suggest one granth also here, because what I have come to know from reading Mokshmar Prakasha, the chapter number 8, Adhyay 8, which says शास्त्रों के कथन करने की पद्धति, उपदेश का स्वरूप. So it is very important to read that chapter before reading any granth. That is what my opinion is about. When you are reading any granth, please read Mokshmar Prakashak 8th Adhyay Updesh Ka Swarup. Charan Yoga Swarup. It's very important to understand because it is very critical. At the same time, we need to read that chapter maybe twice or thrice. Then only we will understand. It's not difficult, but the perspective, from the perspective Tudor Malji has written that chapter, is very powerful. And when I was reading that chapter again and again, and I was teaching to my students, and sometimes I take in my projects also. So it's very deep meaning from Karna new point of view, all a new point of view. So yeah, it is very good. So one has to read. So maybe today I'm going to take the four or five out of this 15 perspective, a different concept of Jainism. I'm not going to read all the 15 right now, but yeah, we'll start with the first one. Anekant and Syadvad. So whenever this is the only chapter which is differ our Jain principle, or I say Jain darshan from different other religion or darshan, because the Anekant and Syadvad is the only chapter, or I can say which is not five. You will not be able to find in other darshan. When I say darshan, It means simple. It simply means in other philosophy, like other religious, the other religion is going in the world. So Anekant and Syadvad is a unique concept, which we you will find in Jain philosophy only. That is what I have read till now. So definition of Anekant and Syadvad is simply mean is a multi faceted approach to reality. So you can see the picture. First, I will explain the definition of Anekant and Syadvad. So Anekant quite literally refers to a multi-faceted view of reality, while Syadva signifies the portrayal of reality using a comprehensive view as well as various point of view. So basically, um, Anekant means you are looking in a different point of view, different perspective, and Syadva means the way you are explaining it. So every object or every person have a different perspective, and when you are explaining it, that is called shadwa. Okay, so you can see the picture. So there's a one picture. In the first picture you can see there is a viewed from side, like you if you see, it looks like some pyramid. And in the middle, this middle picture, you see, if you see it from front, it looks like triangle. And if you see it, this object from bottom, it looks like a square or maybe rectangle, but it's square. Okay, so only one object, you can see three sides or a three perspective. So one is, you will see a pyramid form, and the other one is triangle, and the third one is, if you see from bottom, you will find a triangle, square. So it's a square. It's what it is. So it is a pyramid, or it is a triangle, or it is a square. So what is it? So from which perspective or which point of view you are looking at this object, then only we will come to know, or we can say that, oh, this is triangle, or but originally it is not only a triangle or a square, but the perspective, from which perspective you are saying. Okay, so Anekant and Syadvad multifaceted approach to reality. The explanation says that all substance possesses multiple attributes and seemingly contradictory. Let me, yeah, properties. So um, substances possess multiple attributes. There are many attributes one object has, and many same person has many attributes. So from which point of view you are saying it? Let's say if I ask you, say something about or any person like Trump, President of America, what you can say? You will say he's very angry man. Someone will say he's egoistic. Someone will say no, he's a nice person. Someone will say he's very dedicated to his country, or he's doing hard work, or he's very particular. He is not listening to anyone. Someone may say he's not listening to anyone. Someone will say he's a powerful leader. We don't want anyone to discuss the ideas. He just believe in himself. He just said. So there are different perspective looking at the person or a object. From which point of view you are seeing it? So beings can simultaneously grasp various dimensions of reality. Means the Sarvagi Paramatma, whatever has said in a different perspective or point of view. So language limitation restrict the dep- depiction of only one aspect of reality at the time. So language has a limitation. As I say, if I want to say something, let's say I'm explaining the this shastro ke kathan karne ki paddhati. So the way I'm saying and the language I'm using has a limitation. I can't tell everything in one sentence. So I have to uh, go through the process. This first step, second step, third step. So language has a limitation. Let's say um, sometimes we say from language, from words. Sometimes we convey our message through expressions. Sometimes silence gives many messages. So yeah, language has a limitation. And Shadwad, a doctrine of qualified assertion, uses different to convey various face face of reality or a holistic view, that is called praman, to view the substance in entirely. Saying This Syadvad is a doctrine. You It's used Nai and Praman. What is Nai and Praman? That we'll come to know. So Nai and Praman. Praman is basically the holistic view. Like just we are looking from a drone, and the whole the object or everything is we are looking from a drawn point of view. So drawn view, it is called drawn view. And when we say nai, so nai is a particular way of looking at the object or a thing or a person. We are concentrating on one particular thing. So from in the next slide, there is an example of elephant. So we'll come to know. To understand this statement fully, one must consider the point of view from which it is made. Means the whether the person is saying something or we are talking about any particular object or a person, we need to understand that we're talking about some particular point of view and for particular person or for particular object. So this is the example which is very famous, the Shadwat, the blind man and the elephant. There are 6% these are the six blind person. The popular story of the blind man and the elephant illustrates the Shadwat. So basically, I will explain rather than reading this whole concept. So these are the six-person who are blind. These six persons are blind. So one is holding tail, and he is saying it's like a rope, and the other person is holding leg, and he is saying it's like a pillar. The third person is holding stomach and saying it is like a wall. And the fourth person holding his ears and he's saying it's like a fan. And the third person is holding his tongue and he's saying it's like a spear. And the sixth person is saying it is trunk and it's like a tree trunk. So every person is blind and they are saying in their perspective whatever they are feeling. But the blind men they argue because why they are arguing because they haven't seen the elephant wholly. I will say in a they are not doing or commenting or whatever they are saying doing conversation is not based on pramanik, it is not praman, because they haven't seen the whole from holistic point of view, because they are just holding the leg and they are saying it's a pillar, but they haven't come to know what is the elephant is all about. So they are arguing because their view are partial. So it's very critical, and it is very we need to understand that this reflects how incomplete one-sided knowledge it can't lead to misunderstanding. So if you say someone is smoking and we say the person is bad in character, so by smoking cigarette for a 5 minutes or a 10 minutes from looking at one particular stuff or one particular activity, we just come to the conclusion that the person is not good, he is characterless, or whatever we want to say we can add on. So by knowing the partial stuff, one has not to comment anything. So by looking at the cover, you can't judge the whole book. So this Shadwad and Anekant says it's very practical to understand and we can apply in our day-to-day life. So we generally we just see one partial thing and we just say that, oh, this is wrong, that person is wrong. Let's say we haven't seen Trump or Modi ji or the person we are commenting on, just one part. He comes on a screen for 5 or 10 minutes and we just come to the conclusion that he's a bad person, he's egoistic, so only one sided. It's just like a blind man who is holding a stomach and saying it's a wall. So sometimes we all are human beings and we all have all the bhav, and sometimes we are in ego, sometimes we are angry, sometimes we are in man. So that person is very egoistic. Yeah, maybe for some time, but if you see the person wholly, it's not like that. So Shadwa teaches us to acknowledge multiple perspectives, seeing a substance from all possible aspects for a complete understanding. So it is not in the education. What I feel is whatever we have learned in our school time or college time or whatever degree we have, and our education system does not um, give us that teaching, the wise teaching, I say, at the perspective point of view. So it requires, I think, case study for from what point of view you are seeing. let's say the current topic, that CJP party, that protest for the paper leak, NEET paper leak. So everybody, initially everybody was like, there's something wrong happened with this students, that government is not doing well, or the minister, education minister has to resign. So everybody is looking in that zone only, and only one perspective we were looking at. So um, what I come to know is it's all about education, the Syadvad and Anekant, the lack of this knowledge leads to a protest, and protest is not wrong, but the way it has been landed in front of people, that was not appropriate, because everybody was like, something is wrong with them. Yeah, it was wrong, but obviously because some student have committed suicide or whatever. But that's a one perspective. But if you look at from the government point of view or a drone point of view, and now you can see whatever the student have done protest in whichever they felt that's a good way, blaming Modi ji or saying bad words to him, a person like who is in 70s, or just like our father or grandfather. So now the after effect of that everybody can see. So from looking at only one point of view, it is not perfect. So we need to understand the all point of view, because we are living in a 140 crores population country, and the lakhs of people, lakhs of students are giving exam for a particular, and because the only government is not responsible for the people leak, even we are responsible for that, because someone has given bribe, then only that people leak can happen. And the person who has given, who has leaked that paper, he's also responsible. Why only government? So we are not responsible. So when you look at from all the perspective, you will come to know the, you will get the clear idea. That is called drawn view. I will in my lectures, when I go to the corporates or I deal with student, so I say it's a shrink view or broader view. Yeah. So Anekant and Syadvad, the multifaceted approach to reality. So example, so here is a picture, modification POV and the substance POV. So example, take for instance, the concept of for a soul from the standpoint of view of the underlying substance, it is permanent. And but when viewed in terms of modification, it appears impermanent. So there is a difference between only one soul is nitya and anitya. When I was giving this example, nitya and anitya, permanent and impermanent. So the same substance in the both the permanent as well as impermanent, but from different point of view. So how it is permanent, how it is not permanent, or may you can say impermanent. So let's say, um, I will remain permanent, or Anadi Anant. I'm Anadi Anant. The same soul is Anadi Anant. So I'm permanent. And from which point of view it is impermanent? Because every time it is changing, the paryay is changing. That is why it is impermanent. For example, I will give you another example. So the fan, which we can see on the ceiling, so it is running or it is a stop. पंखा चल रहा है या रुका हुआ है? The fan is running or it is a stop. So someone will say, yeah, it is running because yeah, पंखा चल रहा है. And some will, I think 98% or 99% will say पंखा चल रहा है. So if you look at in a different perspective, you will come to know, yes, पंखा चल भी रहा है and it is also stop. From the wings are running clockwise or anti-clockwise, it is running, ये चल रहा है. And when it is hang to the ceiling, ये रुका हुआ है. From that point of view, yeah, it is stop. So पंखा चल भी रहा है और पंखा रुका भी हुआ है. So the way you are looking at it. So when I was reading this concept, I was in one training, and I come to know that there's a one handicapped person who is not, like one leg is not there with that person. So someone will say, "Oh, bichara," they will say he's bichara, or show some sympathy to that person. The same person who is handicapped was coming from, I think, maybe 1 or 2 kilometers from his house, and oh, He must have struggled so much. And the other point of view is he is so powerful that he can, even he has not one leg and he can walk for 1 kilometer. He's so powerful. So it's all about your perspective, how you are looking at that person. So one is looking from sympathy point of view, another one is looking from powerful point of view. He's very powerful. Someone say, oh, he don't have one leg. So it's how you see it. So that's the difference. So Anekant and Syadvad can teach us many things. So this one picture, I will explain it without reading this. So uh, this lady is, you can see the picture of that girl who is a daughter of someone. The same lady, how one lady can be a daughter or a mother or a sister or maybe cousin for someone. So only one girl viewing a woman from a different perspective gives a better understanding for her identity. She is a daughter for her father. She is a sister for her brother. She is a mother for her kids. She's yeah, you can many point of view. She can be a sister-in-law from others' point of view. So same lady can be play a different role, right? So it is all Syadvad and Anekant. So that there are different perspective how you are looking at that girl, and the same girl the two sisters were living together in same house for 22 years or maybe 24 years. They were sisters and they got them married to the same house or to the brothers, two brothers. Now they are Derani Jethani. So how two sisters can become a Derani Jethani? So it's just a point of view, nothing else. They can say, yeah, we are sister, at the same times we are Derani Jethani too, right? So it's all about perspective. Now, point of view, Nayan, Praman, comprehensive knowledge. So this is a drawn view that what I was explaining. Yeah, point of view, Nay, a point of view, we don't denotes a specific perspective derived from its own frame of references. And yeah, you can see the one picture is one flower, and the other is like a garden. There are many flowers. Yeah. So it is Praman, the whole drawn point of view. And the when you see a particular object or if you want to explain some particular stuff, then we need to focus on one thing that is called. Okay, so it's all about point of view, portrait reality in distinct ways. Some of this includes real and conventional point of view, Nischay and Vyavahar Nyay, and Dravyarthik and Paryarthik Nyay, and there are different Nays are there. That is called Dravyarthik Nyay, then the Saptabhangi and Sabda Nyay, Arth Nyay, Gyan Nyay. There are different ways. Then sevenfold prediction that is called Saptabhangi Nyay, Sabda Arth Gyan Nyay. So there are total 47 Nyay, which we can read in our Granth. Okay. Okay, so the next is explanation. Each of this point of view offers a unique perspective. So basically, this concept is saying, I'm not going to read all the stuff. So each night, that 47 nights, will say something, will give you a different perspective. If you know all the perspective or some of the perspective, you will come to know that not I'm always not right. There are different perspective. So each of these point of gives a different point of view and offer a unique perspective on a substance, and failing to grasp them correctly may lead to misconception. So sometimes may happen that we look at only from one perspective. It may lead to confusion, or maybe there will be a contradictory in conversation, or maybe in point of view. So clashes may happen. So we need to understand and we need to read all the Nayas to understand our scriptures in a better way. Okay. So this is correct understanding of real and conventional point of view. So real point of view, I am Atma, and the conventional point of view there, I am from Manushigati, I am Sansari, that is conventional point of view. So recognizing that the conventional point of view is not an absolute truth. Let's say if some the father who is in the home and his son is also playing in the his son is playing with the other neighbor sons, so both are playing together and the father says beta come here to both of them, like one is a real son and one is neighbor. So if he's saying beta come here, so in a Vyavaharic way or a conventional truth, a conventional point of view, he is not his beta, he is not his son, but still he's saying, beta, come here, have some food. Should I bring some thing to eat? So maybe he's saying he's behaving in such a way that it looks like he is his son, but it is in reality it is not. He is not his son. So that is called Upcharit Nirupan. It's a Vyavaharic way. Yeah. So I say that you are from which gati? I am from Manish gati. That is conventional point of view. But in original, I'm not. Yeah, temporary. I am from Manushya gati, but originally I am Anadi Anant. I'm not. I'm not belong to any gati because I'm Atma. I'm soul. Yeah. Okay. So the correct understanding of real and conventional point of view is correctly understanding the real point of view involves acknowledging it as the absolute truth. Whatever the absolute truth will come to know, identifying one's true self with the nature of pure soul, as shown by this point of view. A viewpoint through self-expression leads to right belief, some exertion. So once we come to know that, yeah, from Vyavahar point of view, we are from Manushya we have a different Odaikha, we have a Kashay, um, yeah, many the thought process which is going in whole day, the vikalp which we have is a different, and the soul who is knowing those vikalps and thoughts is different. So we can identify through nayas that this is the thought process, this is vikalp and not me. I am the knower, not the doer of those vikalps. So yeah, so once we do the Ved Vigyan and we identify that thoughts are different and I'm different because I'm a knower, not a doer, so we can leads to the right belief that is called Samyak. Okay, so yeah, conventional point of view is necessary, but at certain point, we need to identify what is conventional point of view and real point of view. From real point of view, we are a soul, and from conventional point of view, we all are uh, like we can say this is my body, I'm from Manishigati, I have family, whatever you want to say you can say, but need to understand that, yeah, I am soul. Okay, I think time is over right now because it is uh, I was thinking to take the more concept, but right now it is time is over. So teaching of guidance and statement facts Updesh both and Tattva we will take in the upcoming sessions. So if I will explain, I will conclude this session in this way that have a different perspective, understand what it has been said by any person, or look in a drawn view or a broader view, have pramanic view, and if you want to understand it deeply, then you can go to the particular object or a person to understand what it is. Then that is called conventional point of view. Yes, we need to do that. That elephant, if I want to understand what is elephant, then yes, I have to understand what is uh, leg, what is stomach, what is ears. So yeah, for understanding the whole thing, so we need to understand a particular stuff. Then we need to understand the whole pramanic way. So, yeah, conventional point of view and the real point of view both are needed. So, someone is saying something to us, like our parents sometimes scold us, or our guru says something. So, when they are angry, we sometimes feel like, oh, why he's angry and why he's always telling to me only. So, sometimes it feels like that. But if we look at in a different perspective, why he's angry, he might wants some improvement in me. That's why he's angry. He wants some discipline in my life. That's why he's angry. Then there is no grudges. There is no anger for guru or teacher. Once we understand the perspective of the other person, I say in a yeah that put your legs in other shoes, you will come to know their perspective, whether we are with the friends or parents or any situation. So that's it for the day. Yes, over to you, Parinati ji. I think I'm done.
Thank you, Vivekji, for making us understand that what deciphering of scriptures means. Like you told it very perfectly that how disastrous it would be if we understand that punya and papa are same, And if we don't understand at what context Jinvani Mata is saying this to us, it would be a whole disaster. And actually, it is disaster only what other caste people are doing. What Marichi has just started different months. It is result of that disaster only. But at
Actually,
this
very well
point,
said. The example you have given of Marichi is it was about perspective only, and he was knowing the truth that I am going to be 24th Tirthankar. So knowledge makes no difference. The perspective makes big difference. Very well
yes.
said. Yeah.
And now this is a high time for us to understand that what all these things are said in which context. Like the concept of Syadvad, a very famous picture of elephant, the example you quoted, that how different people sees it in different ways and think that what they are seeing is the only truth. And this is why all the riots and everything happen, just because someone sticks with one point and think it as a whole picture. And then second, you told about real and conventional ways, Nischay Vyavahar. And this is also a very uh, thin line that people used to mix it, but actually there is a very thick difference that how the world and these things are seen, that from which angle when Shastras are saying to be a soul, that we are soul, and from which angle Charitra, like Charnani or Granths are written. So in that way, it is very important to understand that what is the context here. So thank you, Bhaiya, for making us understand this in a very simple form.
Yeah. Thank you
Before
so much for
we,
having me here.
yeah, I have a question. Does anyone else have a question here? Okay, so let me put it that Bhaiya, like you said, ki we should know more perspective about it. But if we'll just invest ourselves in knowing more, a whole lot knowledge, then aren't we distancing ourselves from the real thing? Like knowing too much, making information overload. Where will it take us?
So it will take you to the right direction only, and you will get the clarity. So when we are seeing in a different perspective, let's say we both are brother and sister, and I will look at you in a only one perspective or two perspective. You have a different perspective about your life, right? So if I will look at you in two perspective or three perspective, I will know you, but not in a deep way or for particular things. But if I will see you in a 10 different perspective, I will know Parinati very well. So it is all about clarity. It is not about how much efforts we are putting in to understand it. So it is whatever we are doing, it's for clarity. So once you get the clarity, it is not how many perspective. Let's say we are entering into the amusement park. So there are 30 or 40 rides. We are not stuck to two or three rides. We see it from like pramanik way or a drawn view. Oh, there are 40 rides. I have to enjoy every rides. So when you go to the rides, 30 or 40 rides, or some person is going to only two or three rides, or maybe 10 rides. So he has not experienced the whole amusement park. Yeah, he's happy, maybe, or she's happy, but you will get the clarity about amusement park once you reach out all the mostly all the all the rides. Then only you will enjoy the amusement park. So same way, if you are in talking to any person, or you want to understand any object or any person, we need to, even for the shastra, we need to understand deeply, then should have a different perspective, and have the more you under the more perspective you have, you get the more clarity. Simple.
Hmm. The whole point is to get the clarity, not
Yeah.
information
Not to
over.
get confused or
Yeah.
having load on your mind.
Thank you, Bhaiya. Before we proceed for Stuti, let me introduce you to JEEV portal. As I said, that I'll show you how to access it. Bhaiya, can you make me host so I can share the screen?
Yeah, done.
Hopefully my screen is visible. See,
Yes.
if you, yeah, if you all are curious about any topic, you want to learn any specific topic like seven vices or six essentials, you can just click in any of the topic you want to understand. It is just like a course at Coursera or Udemy. You can learn those topics, you can track the lectures you have taken, and then you can get in-depth knowledge with the PDF we have. In this way, you can learn a holistic concept in a simple way in which you can apply to your daily life. And for any query you have, you can connect with us with following handles. So, like you can connect with website, email address, or social media handles. We are happy to help you. Hope this helped you. Now let's move to Jinvani Stuti. भैया Jinvani Stuti.
निज निधि निज में बताए, यह अनंत उपकार है। उसके लिए जिनवाणी माँ को वंदना श्रुतिवारी है। वंदना श्रुतिवारी। काय सर? बोलो परमकारी जिनवाणी माता की जय।
Thank you, भैया.
वेलकम।